Hi, thanks very much for clicking on the link. My name is Natalie Armstrong Moton, and I'm talking today in an idle chat with Judith Starr for the American Bar Association's Section for Dispute Resolution. Hi, Judith, how are you?
Hi, I'm great. Florida's beautiful in the fall.
Oh man, that is a good place to be. Good for you. All right, Judith, I know you know the lay of the land, but let me explain quickly for the viewer that I've put together about 120, not necessarily mainstream questions on these cards. We're going to give them a shuffle, and then you and I will have an idle chat, all right?
Alrighty.
All right. Oof, right out of the gate, we're going for it. Judith, apples or oranges?
Apples.
Good girl. All right. Judith, what do you like most about the place that you grew up?
There's a problem. I grew up in about 8 different places. I was an Army brat. You want me to just pick one or try and do an amalgam answer?
What you choose. This is your idle chat.
Being on the coast, being near the beach.
All right. And what beaches did you get to live near?
Well, let's see. In Hawaii, we lived near the various beaches in Oahu. And in Panama, we had a couple of different beaches we could go to. One that you could just climb on the rocks, you could walk there from home, and another you would drive over a causeway. And we had a shark net at the end of the beach because there are sharks off the coast of Panama. So when the tide really rolled out, you could walk all the way to the shark net, and it would be about ankle deep. And then when it was high tide, it would be above your head. But it was really a fun beach.
Oh my goodness. I'm not sure I would go on that walk with you, Judith. You're a brave soul. All right. Miss Judith, are you a fan of film?
Yes.
Movies? Yes. Do you have any preferred movie quotes that you like to use in day-to-day conversation?
Unfortunately, they're probably horrible cliches, but I always like the one from Casablanca by Louis, which is, I'm shocked to find gambling going on. As a former civil fraud prosecutor, this was something that tended to be apt a lot in my business.
That's a really good one. I'm shocked. All right. Next question. If money and practicality were not a problem, what would be the most interesting way for us to get around town?
My town or yours?
As you wish.
Mm-hmm. Well, where I am, we have water everywhere. I live on the Florida Gulf Coast, and boating is the best way to do it. But if you want to go really out to the Gulf to be able to see, amazing fish wildlife, you want a wonderful big yacht. So the yacht could not park in my little canal. So we'd probably have to take a helicopter out to where it was in the deep water. And then you could have a wonderful tour of the Gulf Coast.
Oh yeah, that'd be so hard that you have to take a helicopter to your yacht. That sounds painful.
Oh, you said dream big. So.
I did. I said there were no limits. No limits. All right. Judith, let's imagine that there's an epic feast held in your honor. What would we be having laid out for us on the table?
We would be having Korean barbecue.
There's the choice. Yeah, Korean barbecue.
Oh, my sons introduced us to that a couple of years ago. And we used to go when I was living in the DC area. You would go to a Korean barbecue, and they have something. It's convex, and it's like a convex little barbecue thing that you put on the table, and then they throw all the food on it. It just heats up, and you just grab it, and it's wonderful because the Koreans it's a very fusion cuisine. So in addition to a lot of the good East Asian stuff, they've borrowed things from here and there. So you'll see things like cheese and all sorts of things that you don't normally see. So I've been teaching myself to cook Korean since I moved to Florida because there isn't a whole lot of it here.
But all good things, all good things. Oh, that's a good choice. All right, Judith, this is the next question. Now, you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but the question is, do you happen to remember, and would you share with us the last photograph that you took on your phone? What was it?
It's my sister's new puppy a couple days ago, day before yesterday. She got a Doberman puppy, and he's just utterly adorable.
That's really cute. All right. All right. Now, this next question, I warn you, it's divisive. Pineapple. Does it have any business being on pizza?
Absolutely not.
No hesitation. Judith says
Not
no,
at all. I
absolutely
mean,
not.
absolutely not. I have been won over to some things. Like, Thai pizzas are okay. Barbecue chicken pizza is okay. I've lost my orthodoxy on some, but I draw the line at pineapple pizza.
So everybody's got to have a limit. That's yours. Judith, what do you like most about yourself?
I think that I'm an idea person, and I like to sit down and solve problems and come up with creative ways to attack it. And I usually, if I'm sitting in a group, I end up feeding people ideas. And I like the fact that I could generate that, and it keeps me interesting to myself.
That's a really good quality to have. Really good quality to have. Judith, coffee or tea?
Oh, definitely coffee. Total addict.
Definitely coffee. Definitely coffee. That's you and I could be friends. I'm on team coffee as well. Let's see.
That was the worst thing about being pregnant, was being off of coffee.
Oh gosh,
I
didn't know.
I was just in total withdrawal.
See, yeah, yeah. I will admit now, of course, it's a couple decades late, but I did cheat. Absolutely. You cannot go cold turkey on some things. Judith, are you a sports fan by any chance?
I more like to do them than watch them.
All right. What's your favorite sport?
I'm a runner. I've been a runner for a long time.
Like cross country running, jogging?
Jogging. I usually try to do at least a 5K every morning. Since I got what I call my running dog, we do more than that now. We had a hiatus for a couple months because Florida is hot, but we started again last week, and we did 5 miles this morning.
That's really good for you, and a little bit nuts. Oh my goodness.
Oh, it's gorgeous here. We were by the river.
5K a day. Yeah. This was not built for running. No. If, Judith, you were given an unlimited budget to build a museum, what kind of museum would you build?
I think it would be interesting to have kind of a human rights and rule of law sort of museum. I don't think people know that much about it. And, maybe showcasing constitutions from around the world. I think that the dialogue that we have in this country shows that people really don't know very much about either the Constitution or American constitutionalism and some of the animating principles. It would be really great to be able to just, set some, set some, I guess, guidance for people to have discussions on, to understand more about not just the history, but the history of the ideas of our country that made our country what it is.
Right. I think that's a really good idea. I wonder how many Americans realize that there is more than one constitution in the United States, that with 486 sovereign Indian nations residing within our borders of the US, and most of them have their own constitution, it would be fun to put together just a list of all of those various constitutions to see how they, set about being a human body.
And state constitutions are very, very different too. I mean, there are some of the early, some of the states that were the original colonies, their constitutions were the basis for a lot of the American Constitution, such as Virginia, which was, very, very much a model. And then you have a state like California, where I lived and practiced law for 5 years. And, everybody amends that constitution every couple of years by referendum. And so it is a huge constitution. I don't know how anybody keeps track of it. So it is a very different model than the federal one.
Isn't that, yeah, I think you're right. I think that would be a lot of fun, wouldn't it? That would be a lot of fun. Good idea. Very clever. Good for you. And then my last question for you, Judith, is the same question that I ask all of the Idle Chat participants, and that is, what do you love most about the resolution industry?
I think that it practices what it preaches. I mean, one thing I really noticed when I joined it and started networking, meeting people, is that it's highly collaborative and that people really support each other. And most other areas of the law, people tend to be much more competitive. They're all competing for clients, or they're competing for, getting the top byline or whatever it is. And I feel like in ADR that people are really trying to bring the practice up, to inculcate the principles more into our society by helping each other. And I got so much help when I, joined the dispute resolution section and started meeting people and networking and talking to people. I was amazed at the difference. I'd never had an experience like that before, and I am really happy to carry it forward.
So, well, Judith, thank you so much for joining me for an Idle Chat. I look forward to staying in touch.
Thank you. It was my pleasure.